Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest with me, Dr. Abhishek Kumar. Sir founded Evolution Educate 20 years ago and has been teaching civil services aspirants ever since. Many of Sir's students have successfully cleared the UPSC examination, secured rank till 10 and even All India rank 1. So today Sir is here to guide all the UPSC aspirants on their journey. Thank you so much sir. Thank you for being here. सर जैसे 25 का प्रीलिम्स है, अभी इट्स राउंड द कॉर्नर बहुत नज़दीक है, बट 26 के प्रीलिम्स में हमारे पास फिलहाल टाइम है। सो 26 की हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव तरीके की कैसी होनी चाहिए कि हम सिलेक्शन इंश्योर कर सकें?
Great. So, देखो, for 2026 this is an optimal time to start preparation. क्योंकि अगर अभी से हम काउंट करें 1st of May 2025 से मेन एग्जामिनेशन 2026 तक, तो what we are looking at is 15 months of preparation time. And in these 15 months, if you are well planned, और अगर आप सही टाइम पे सही चीज़ों को कर रहे हैं और कंसिस्टेंसी के साथ कर रहे हैं, एंड गिवन द फैक्ट कि कोई आपको इवेलुएट कर रहा है, कोई आपके मिस्टेक्स को रेक्टिफाई कर रहा है, तो ये 2026 का एग्जामिनेशन आपके लिए बहुत ही अचीवेबल टारगेट हो सकता है। Given the nature of competition in the civil service examination, it will be hard to give any type of guarantee or to think in terms of certainty कि हो ही जाएगा. But you can always think of maximizing your chances. And yes, if you start now and if you go in a very structured way, you can very much do it. Now that we have understood this, so let us decide how we are going to split these 15 months, which is from now until the 2027 main examination. In 15 months May, the remaining 8 months of 2025, that is starting from 1st May 2025 and ending on 31st December 2025, ये 8 महीने का टाइम सबसे ज़्यादा क्रूशियल है बिकॉज इन दीज 8 months इट विल बी डिसाइडेड वेदर आप रेस में हैं या रेस में नहीं हैं. Because in 8 months में what you can do is this. You can cover all the foundational topics of your general studies. Now you might be wondering what are foundational topics. So foundational topics are those topics which are there in the prelim as well as in the main examination. So they would include Indian history, Indian and world geography, Indian polity, and to an extent governance also, Indian economy, science and technology, environmental ecology, and of course current affair is a separately mentioned topic even in the prelim, and it forms the backbone of paper 2 and paper 3 of general studies. So these 7 areas you can develop a very good command, and by very good command I would mean that you will actually be prepared both for prelim as well as the main examination. And once you have done that, the journey is starting from 1st January 2026 until the prelim of 2026 is going to be much simpler. But the more delay you do in this preparation, or for that matter, the less organized you are in this first phase, the more stressful the further phases will be. So now these 8 months should be the 8 months when you comprehensively cover your 7 foundational areas, and current affair will be an ongoing project. Second thing is that you should be finishing your optional subject within these 8 months. So one of the first thing is to decide what your optional subject is going to be. और एक बार जब डिसाइड कर लिया तो डिसाइड करते वक्त ये मत सोचना कि ये स्कोरिंग है, इसका सिलेबस छोटा है. These are all very wrong questions to ask so far as the optional subject selection is. सबसे पहले अपने आप से ये पूछो कि do you like the subject enough to sustain your effort for at least 8 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. तो इंटरेस्ट थोड़ा होना चाहिए. दूसरा कि इस पे मटेरियल और गाइडेंस अवेलेबल है कि नहीं. इवन इफ यू आर स्टडीइंग बाय सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन, still you will need someone to check your answer, give you feedback, give you guidance. So इस पे मटेरियल और गाइडेंस की क्या सिचुएशन है. एंड थर्ड, यू शुड बी सीइंग some degree of overlap with general studies. अगर वो होता है तो that is a bonus factor. So ऑप्शनल तैयार करनी है आपने, और उसके बाद आपको अपने जीएस के फाउंडेशनल एरिया को करना है. Between January and prelim of 2025, what you are going to do is to cover 3 small areas of main examination, and these 3 small areas will be international relation, and disaster management, internal security, social justice. These are the smaller areas that you can very comfortably do within a span of 3 months. So January, February and March, you will be done with that, and parallelly you will be revising for the prelim. Parallelly you will be putting in lot of practice for the prelim examination. And last but not the least, you will be leaving ethics, integrity and aptitude part, and this might be a little controversial for your audience, but you can safely leave ethics, integrity and aptitude to be prepared immediately after the prelim. So once in the end of May 2026, जब prelim examination हो जाए, उसके बाद immediately you come to ethics, integrity and aptitude, and with a good teacher's guidance, you can actually cover this paper, the entire paper 4 of GS, in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks with a decent amount of practice. And after that, you can start intense revision and practice for the main examination. So broadly, this is how the time split will look like.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for comprehensively dividing the time and segregating it. So I think time management is the key here, that you have to divide your time, you have to focus on the areas and be very consistent in your plan in order to maximize your chance.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
great. So, but sir, the fresh graduates, for example, who have just graduated, they're beginners, they do not know anything about this journey. उनके लिए approach कैसी होनी चाहिए? Would it be the same या फिर
देखो, freshers should always start with the most basic books, and here I mean the NCRTs. So when a fresher starts the journey, so the fresher should be going through NCRT books, all the NCRT books until standard 10th, minus perhaps mathematics.
Okay.
All the NCRT books. In one way or the other, they will be helping you in the prelim examination. They will be giving you a broad conceptual framework for the main examination. And this broad conceptual framework will also help you frame nicer answers in the interview as and when something requires you touch the fundamentals of the subject. So start from very fundamental NCRTs, all the books until standard 10 minus mathematics. And then from 11th and 12th, go through the history book, go through geography book, and also study selectively some of the political science book. All the political science books are not relevant, but at least the book that touches upon the Indian system of government, Indian constitutional system, that will be highly relevant. And similarly, there is one book on Indian economy that essentially traces the journey of Indian economy since pre-independence until now. That book is a very necessary reading material. And in this phase only, you should be developing some level of comfort with the newspapers also.
For the current affairs piece.
Absolutely.
Right. So foundational, basically for all the fresh graduates, they should be working on their foundation, covering the basic books and everything, building that foundation and then moving forward.
And here, if I may add one small thing, do not waste too much time building your foundation.
Okay.
Set aside like 2 months time to go through all these books. It is going to be intense, but that is highly recommended so that you can actually get on with the real preparation as soon as possible.
The practice and everything. So do not just stretch your foundation for 6 to 8 months कि अभी NCRT ही चल रही है. Don't do that.
That will actually delay your real preparation,
Right.
and that will affect your standing in the overall examination.
Yes, absolutely. And so there's a constant question that comes in the mind of the aspirants कि coaching लेनी चाहिए, coaching कितनी ज़रूरी है? So बिना उसके होगा या मतलब it's absolutely non-negotiable कि आपको coaching लेनी ही होगी?
Well, it's a very nice question, and I'm not sure if you have asked this question to the right person, but I will be as unbiased as I can be and as I should be. So here is the thing. If you look at the UPSC results every year, roughly 1/3 of the candidates have not taken any coaching except test series and interview guidance. Roughly 1/3. But 2/3 have taken coaching. The UPSC does not give you data about their respective rank and all of that, so we do not yet know. But where does a coaching contribute? That we need to understand. First, a coaching will give you very structured and streamlined content aligned to the actual examination requirement, and that too segregated for the prelim as well as for the main examination. Second, the coaching institute also draws boundaries around the syllabus. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do in deep, and this is what you can do without touching it. That is very important. Otherwise, given the scope of the syllabus, it becomes almost impossible to stop studying a topic. You can always keep on exploring, and that will kind of derail your preparation. So, coaching institutes draw the boundaries. Third thing is that coaching institute imparts certain clear understanding of the topics, and without understanding, one cannot even clear the prelim examination.
True.
So, if you think you need somebody's help, then of course, coaching institute will be very handy in developing that understanding. And fourth, coaching institute also gives you feedback, also lets you identify your weak points. It suggests ways how to rectify that. So in these ways, coaching institutes are going to play a very important role. So if I say coaching institute is not mandatory, but at the same time, if you go to a good coaching institute, they will accelerate your journey. So
Absolutely.
they are like catalyst.
Correct. So that's like you can rely on the coaching institutes for the guidance, mentorship, setting boundaries, and making you understand what not to study. Because right now in this race, it's very easy to just be divulging into the different kinds of material that's available online and offline, and you just do not know where to stop studying.
That's
And
entirely true.
absolutely,
That's entirely true.
coaching can help you understand what to study and make you those get you into those peer groups discussions with your mentor so that you know what are your weak areas, strong areas, what should you keep revising, and what should be the strategy customized to your needs. So you can decide accordingly.
Absolutely. And one thing I guess I should emphasize that given the nature of general studies, irrespective of what background we come from, there will be more than two-thirds of the topic in general studies which will be new to us. Suppose I am a science graduate. So for me, history, polity, economy will be new. Suppose someone is a history graduate, other topics will be new. So coaching institutes also serve uh, in giving you a good understanding of the subjects that you have not studied. And with that understanding, you can explore further.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Thank you for that, sir. And then there's another question around answer writing practice and prelims mocks because it's equally important to revise what you've learned, right? So हम पढ़ते रह जाते हैं, but then we do not have that confidence कि अब हम answers लिखना शुरू कर दें because we always think कि अभी और पढ़ना बाकी है, अभी we're not ready. So what do you suggest कि किस time पे we should start with the answer writing practice for mains या mocks for prelims and how frequently should we keep doing it?
See, as a student, you have to constantly tell yourself at least thrice a day, not once,
Okay.
3 times a day, that I'm preparing. I'm not studying, I'm preparing. Okay, studying is kind of an activity which has no boundaries. You can keep on studying even a single topic for one entire year, and still you would not be the absolute master of that topic. So you are preparing. The examination has a very specific need, and you have to convert your knowledge, you have to convert your understanding into real world examination hall performance. And that requires you to start practicing from day one. So kind of go back to your school days. So what do you recall? You would study a chapter,
Right.
and at the end of the chapter, what do you play? क्या देखते हैं आप? एक्सरसाइज देखते हैं, करेक्ट? वो क्या रीजन है उसकी कि आपने जो पढ़ा है अपने आप को असेस तो करो बिफोर यू टच द नेक्स्ट चैप्टर. आप अपने आप को असेस करें, और असेस करने के बाद अगर कोई लूप होल दिखता है, कोई वीक पॉइंट उसमें डिटेक्ट होता है, तो द आइडियल कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन इज टू गो बैक टू द मटेरियल, रिवाइज इट, मास्टर इट, एंड देन गो फॉरवर्ड. सो इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ सिविल सर्विस एग्जामिनेशन, अगर आप डे वन से कुछ ना कुछ बहुत छोटी ही प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, 2 आंसर ही एक दिन का लिख रहे हैं, विच विल टेक नॉट मोर देन हाफ एन आवर्स टाइम, और अगर आप 10 मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन करें, एमसीक्यू कर रहे हैं, स्टिल दैट इज अ बिग थिंग which 98% of your competitors are not doing from day one. So it is that secret sauce that differentiates simple studying and preparation. So if you are in preparation mode from day one, please set aside at least 1 hour's time to test yourself on whatever you have studied, and that will mean writing at least 2 answers in general studies, at least 2 answers in your optional subject, and solving 10 MCQs. 10 MCQ will take 10 minutes, and 4 answers should ideally take 48-50 minutes, not more than that, because UPSC actual examination will give you much less time than that.
करेक्ट, करेक्ट। सो इट ऑल साउंड सो सिंपल कि 1 घंटा ही निकालना है, 1 घंटे में यू जस्ट 10 क्वेश्चंस, 4 क्वेश्चंस पर डे, इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील, बट एब्सोल्युटली यू आर करेक्ट, 98% ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट डूइंग इट बिकॉज़ वी आर कॉन्स्टेंटली इन दिस रेस कि अभी हमें और पढ़ना है और पढ़ना है, वी आर नॉट रेडी टू राइट दोज़ आंसर्स। सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू कीप रिवाइजिंग ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, assess yourself, and then move forward in this journey. So, okay. And then, sir, there's a question around current affairs because paper is dynamic and current affairs is linked to static. So, current के part को how should you cover? Like, what are the basic sources? We say newspapers हैं. So, newspapers को how religiously should you follow newspapers? Like, note making के साथ newspaper करें या कुछ और source करें? So, what is it?
See, ideally speaking, newspapers are the best source for current affair. But we cannot deny the fact they take a lot of time. और किसी भी बिगनर के लिए ये बड़ा daunting हो जाता है कि आप न्यूज़पेपर के सारे पेजेस में आप पहले सर्च करें, फिर उसको पढ़ें, फिर नोट्स बनाएं. सो आई थिंक इट इज़ नॉट रियलिस्टिक कि अगर हम किसी स्टूडेंट से एक्सपेक्ट करें कि आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ के नोट्स बना करके और अपने करंट अफेयर को प्रिपेयर करें. सो व्हाट आई सजेस्ट कि आपको न्यूज़पेपर फिर भी पढ़ना है. Two reasons. One, it will improve your language, and language will play a huge role in the main examination as well as in the interview, and not to mention the essay. Second thing is newspaper will give you the larger picture, and in the main examination questions are seldom straight. तो क्वेश्चन हमेशा ही किसी ना किसी बैकग्राउंड के कॉन्टेक्स्ट से होता है या कोई ना कोई एक ऐसा बेंट होता है क्वेश्चन में जिसके लिए आपको लार्जर कॉन्टेक्स्ट का पता होना चाहिए. न्यूज़पेपर्स गिव यू दैट बिग स्टोरी. And once you have been reading the newspaper, after getting comfortable with the newspaper for a month or so, you should start writing those important facts, those important insights जो आप newspaper से लेते हो. But then set a tight time boundary around it that you don't have to do for more than 1 hour, let's say. So can you do the entire newspaper in 1 hour? Answer is no. But do whatever you can do in 1 hour. So what about the rest of the topic? There are enough daily publications online. There are enough monthly compilation. We come up with weekly compilation. So pick up any one of those. So basically newspaper is your balanced diet and these supplements are your health supplements. So together they will give you a very healthy coverage of current affairs. So
Right.
that's my approach.
And it will also increase your speed of reading those newspapers. 1 घंटे का target if you set, so you'll increase that speed of reading. The habit will get into you. So it's good that-
Absolutely. Deadlines are magical.
Yeah.
Works happen because there is something called deadline.
Deadline. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you take your own sweet time. You can just sit with the newspaper for two
Yes,
and a half
yes,
years.
yes, yes.
Keep reading it.
Yes.
Right.
And one more thing, if I could add for your viewers, that now that you have got whole lot of AI platforms simplifying the things, so why not use AI platform to simplify some of the editorials? Perhaps copy the text of the editorial, ask the AI platform. It could be Chat GPT, it could be anything, whichever you are comfortable with, Gemini or something. Ask to extract the key points and go through the key points at least once. So what is the main focus of the editorial? What is the problem identified by the editorial? What is the solution offered by the editorial? And that will go a long way giving you some perspective.
Absolutely. It will just make your job simpler. So make use of the tools that are available online and then go about it for your day. Okay. And so then you've already given us such valuable information, but to summarize, like 4 to 5 general tips for 2026 and some last minute tips for 2025 prelims.
Okay, so I will go for 2026
26.
candidates first. Uh, First and foremost, some degree of planning is necessary. And once you have planned, at least implement it for a month. Follow a plan from anyone who knows it better than you, like someone who has been selected or a teacher who has been in this field for long. So follow a plan at least for a month, because in a month's time you will yourself understand how your progress is looking like and what are the course corrections you need to do. Don't change your plan every now and then. That derails the preparation of so many people. Second is consistency. Try to be consistent at least for 25 days a month. Third, there is a minimum amount of daily study that one has to do, and that is at least 10 hours. And that includes the number of hours that you are spending in a classroom also. Suppose you are taking coaching, your coaching class is taking 4 hours a day, maybe 2 hours for one subject, 2 hours for general studies. You have got 6 hours. That 6 hours goes in self-study. So your coaching and your self-study, or suppose you are self-studying for the entire journey, so your entire self-study should be like 10 hours. Anything less than that will kind of put you behind the competition, because we are talking about 2026 examination. Less than 10 hours is still okay for 2027, but not for 2026.
Okay.
Next one is choose your sources wisely, develop understanding, and whenever you think you have covered the topic, do practice. If it is a prelim-oriented topic, find some MCQs. If it is a main-oriented topic, find some descriptive questions so that you can write answers to. Last, get feedback. Without feedback, you will never identify the blind spots. You will never get an opportunity to rectify them, and sometimes they may cost very dear. And so far as 2025 candidates are concerned, who are going to face prelim in just a couple of weeks time. 3 बातें हैं. First, भरोसा रखो कि आप कर लोगे, because अगर वो भरोसा टूट गया तो you won't be putting in intense work which is required. दूसरी चीज कि अभी जितने टेस्ट आपने सॉल्व किए हैं एक बार उनको रिविजिट कर लो. वो सॉल्व टेस्ट है लेकिन उनको आप रिविजिट करो, यू विल बी सरप्राइज वहां से कितनी सारी चीजें आपको मिलेंगी. और उन सॉल्व टेस्ट में 10 साल का जीएस का पीवाईक्यू भी होना चाहिए, बिकॉज सो मेनी थीम्स फ्रॉम द पीवाईक्यू आर गोइंग टू बी रिपीटेड. एंड लास्टली, अपने रिवीजन में बिग 4 को जरूर से आप फोकस करना. बिग 4 का जो सबसे पहला पार्ट है वो है एनवायरमेंट एंड साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, बिकॉज टुगेदर दे हैव बीन गिविंग 23 to 26 क्वेश्चन एवरी ईयर, सो 1/4 ऑफ द क्वेश्चन कम फ्रॉम हियर. और यहाँ पर अगर आप अच्छी प्रिपरेशन के साथ जा रहे हैं तो आप 50% आराम से क्रॉस कर जाएंगे. सेकेंड वन इज इंडियन इकोनॉमी. अगेन 18-19 क्वेश्चन एवरी ईयर. इंडियन इकोनॉमी के क्वेश्चन कॉन्सेप्चुअल ज्यादा होते हैं, डेटा ड्रिवन कम होते हैं. अगर आप पीवाईक्यू को देखेंगे तो इंडियन इकोनॉमी को अच्छे से आप ब्रशअप करेंगे. थर्ड इज फॉर इंडियन पॉलिटी. इट इज अ लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट. वाई लो हैंगिंग? बिकॉज हियर द क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी वेरी डूएबल. और अगर आपने अच्छी प्रिपरेशन की है तो आउट ऑफ 15 हियर यू कैन एक्सीड 10. हिस्ट्री को इग्नोर मत करना, और हिस्ट्री में कल्चर को इग्नोर मत करना. इट कीप्स बाउंसिंग बैक इन द पेपर. तो दीज आर योर बिग 4. इफ यू हैव मास्टर्ड योर बिग 4 तो अपने करंट को ब्रशअप करके चल जाओ. गॉड विलिंग यू विल क्लियर द प्रीलिम. एंड यस, सीसैट की प्रैक्टिस जरूर करना. इट इज नॉट अ क्वालिफाइंग पेपर, इट इज अ डिस्क्वालिफाइंग पेपर.
That was actually a nice narrative कि CSAT को you cannot leave behind because it will play a big role in deciding whether you will qualify the examination or not. And PYQ, again, PYQs are like the Bible for this preparation.
Absolutely.
You will have to keep revisiting your PYQs to understand what is the pattern of the examination, what are the most commonly asked areas, the low-hanging areas, as Sir mentioned. So you always keep going back to your PYQs and get your analysis bang on. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for taking out time to just let all the aspirants know what to do in the UPSC journey. So that was Dr. Abhishek Kumar, and he gave us some valuable insights on how to go about for your 2026 UPSC strategy. And until we meet the next time, please keep studying and keep revising. Thank you.